predecessor, we came with a zinger that if it's not broken, why mend it? And I want to say today, with all humility, I want to re-nominate Dr. Onyeka Ibezim as to run with me as the deputy governorship candidate of APGA for the November 8th governorship election in Anambra.
Good day, viewers. You are welcome to today's talk show on politics. I remain your host, Oko Edward, known as Rich Life, and we are here live at Freemark Studio. Today, we'll be looking at the political happenings across the country. We'll be specifically focusing on the Anambra governorship election coming up on the 8th of November 2025. Now, how prepared is the INEC? INEC has been conducting elections across the country over the years. A lot of lapses, issues of overvoting, non-accreditation, over-accreditation, underage voting, and all discrepancies has been happening across the country in the past elections that have been conducted. In this Anambra coming up election, how prepared is the INEC? Are they ready to give a credible, free, fair election? Or they will still continue with the old ways of doing things? Now let's run down through to what has been playing on or going through what has happened in Anambra State. The campaign has been declared open far back in June, and the political gladiators in the state has been going about different towns, villages, campaigning, making promises, and telling the people what they will do and how they will go about it. Let's look at the scorecard of Professor Soludo, the current governor of Anambra State. What he has done, what he has achieved, and the lapses. Though a lot of people from that zone has been complaining that the governor is not the real person they have known to be the CBN governor. That his performance this now is very low compared to what he did as a CBN governor. Rating him with what Peter Obi did during his tenure, that the education sector in Anambra State has reduced drastically. The statistics that has been released by the index in Nigeria recently shows that Anambra has reduced from 1st to 33 in ranking in terms of education. This has a lot of negative things to say about Soludo policies and how he's focusing on education. Soludo, on the other hand, has been applauded in terms of infrastructure development, roads, building bridges and roads and all that. But why is the education sector being left behind? Why is the education sector not given the needed attention that it desires? How can a state that has been boasted of being first in both WAEC, NECO, JAMB, in every form of national exam during the time of Peter Obi, has now drastically reduced to 33? What went wrong? Could we call Soludo a failure? Or could you say he has done his best? That it's generally the poor performance of the students. To me, I feel that if the needed policy and the right instruments and infrastructures are put in place, the students will adapt, the teachers will upgrade. Technology is the key. In terms of Peter Obi, when he was a governor, he brought in so many laptops, over 30,000 laptops, to make sure that all the teachers are tech savvy and they transcend this knowledge to the students. Now, in terms of Soludo, we cannot boast of anything. We don't know what went wrong. Now, as a Nigerian, we are concerned by this trend because a state cannot just from 1 and fall back to 33 without the government being worried or bothered. The people of Anambra State, the well-wishers and the political heavyweights should speak to this. And I see this affecting Soludo in his second term campaign. Because you cannot be telling people you are coming back for a second tenure and your education sector is in shambles.
When I took oath of office, I promise never to disappoint my God. I promise never to disappoint my family. And I promise never, very importantly, not to let the Anambra down. I will not let Apuga down. I will not let the Anambra down. Every day we will devote our time and energy working very hard for you. We are working 24/7, and the work is only just beginning. And with this mandate today, we won't take the votes of Anambra people.
You have done nothing or a little to it. You could not even continue to maintain the culture of the education your predecessors have built, have stabilized the system in the state, but look at the whole situation now has flowed down. Could it be a lackadaisical approach to governance or negligence, total negligence by the government? What else or which ways are they focusing if not education? These are many more questions Soludo need to answer. And this should be a bright example to other governors who are lacking in terms of education to sit up, because a country that educates builds the future of the young people. When there is no education, people fall into crime. They fall into all manner of negative vices, prostitution and all that. This has a whole lot to affect the country and painting the country in bad image and a negative reputation. The president on his own should make it a priority to make sure that our education sector is upheld. The teaching facilities that is needed, they should upgrade everything to tech standard, just the way advanced countries are running theirs. We should not take less for education because it is one of the major important sectors in our country, and we all should hold it rightly. This is where I want to, on this note, advise or encourage the president to mandate the Ministry of Education to make sure that Nigeria, Anambra State, all over the country, the education standard is at par to international standards. We can't go for less. We can't continue to operate in medieval mindsets. We can't continue to live in an archival status. We should live in the modern day age where we'll be proud to say, oh, we are Nigerian students. We have all the necessary equipment that can make us to go global. Education must be taken as a top priority, nothing less. Education must be given that leverage above every other sector, because a country that educates is building the future for a better and a healthy nation. This is where I draw the curtain for today. I remain your host, Oko Edward, known as Switchlight, and we are here at Vima Studio. Stay tuned and don't go away.